Our brains, intricate networks of billions of neurons firing in symphony, are the command centers of our lives. They dictate our thoughts, emotions, memories, and actions. While we often focus on external factors influencing brain health like sleep and exercise, the fuel we provide this powerhouse. The food we eat plays a remarkably profound role. From the moment we consume our meals to the intricate biochemical processes that follow, our diet directly impacts the structure, function, and overall well-being of our brains. This intricate connection isn't just about providing energy. It's a complex interplay of nutrients, hormones, and the gut microbiome, all influencing the delicate balance within our cranial vault. Understanding this relationship empowers us to make conscious food choices that can optimize cognitive function, mood regulation, and long-term brain health. The brain, despite accounting for only about 2% of our body weight, consumes a disproportionate 20% of our daily energy intake. This high energy demand underscores its constant activity and reliance on a steady supply of nutrients. Key nutrients act as building blocks, signaling molecules and protectors against damage. Glucose. The primary fuel source for the brain, glucose is derived from the carbohydrates we eat. While the brain prefers a consistent supply, extreme fluctuations in blood sugar levels can impair cognitive function, leading to difficulties with focus, memory, and decision-making. Consuming complex carbohydrates rich in fiber ensures a slow and steady release of glucose, providing sustained energy for optimal brain activity. So, healthy fats, especially omega-3 fatty acids like DHA and EPA, are actually crucial structural components of our brain cell membranes. These good fats, really help enhance communication between brain cells, improve cognitive flexibility, and interestingly, have been linked to a reduced risk of neurodegenerative diseases. You can find these healthy fats in foods like fatty fish such as salmon, mackerel, and tuna, as well as in walnuts, flax seeds, and chia seeds. On the other hand, eating too much unhealthy saturated and trans fats can actually contribute to inflammation and impair brain function. Proteins and amino acids. Let's talk about those for a moment. Amino acids, which are the building blocks of proteins, are absolutely essential for making neurotransmitters. These are the chemical messengers that transmit signals between brain cells. Neurotransmitters like dopamine, which is involved in pleasure and motivation, serotonin for mood regulation, and norepinephrine for attention and alertness, are all directly influenced by how much of certain amino acids we get from our diet. If you're not getting enough protein, that can lead to imbalances in neurotransmitter production, and that might affect your mood, focus, and energy levels. Now, when it comes to vitamins and minerals, there's a whole range of micronutrients that play vital roles in brain function. B vitamins, especially B12, B6, and folate, are key for nerve function, red blood cell formation, and making neurotransmitters. Antioxidant vitamins like vitamin C and E help protect brain cells from damage caused by free radicals, which are these byproducts of metabolism that can speed up aging and contribute to neurodegenerative diseases. And then there are minerals. Iron is essential for oxygen transport, zinc is important for nerve signaling and brain development, and magnesium helps with nerve transmission and relaxation. Deficiencies in any of these micronutrients can really have significant negative impacts on cognitive function and mental health. So, emerging research is highlighting this really profound connection between the gut and the brain, which is often called the gut-brain axis. The trillions of microorganisms living in our gut, collectively known as the gut microbiome, actually communicate with the brain through several pathways, including the vagus nerve, the immune system, and even by producing neurotransmitters. The composition of our gut microbiome is heavily influenced by our diet. A diet that's rich in fiber, fruits, vegetables, and fermented foods really helps promote a diverse and healthy gut microbiome. These beneficial bacteria can actually produce short-chain fatty acids, or SCFAs, which have been shown to have anti-inflammatory and neuroprotective effects. On the flip side, an imbalance in the gut microbiome, what we call dysbiosis, often linked to a diet high in processed foods, sugar, and unhealthy fats, can contribute to inflammation and may even be implicated in neurological disorders and mental health conditions. Interestingly, a significant portion of the body's serotonin, which is a key mood-regulating neurotransmitter, is produced in the gut. The gut microbiome plays a role in this production, and that really highlights just how much our diet can impact our mood and overall well-being. The gut is also a major hub for the immune system. An unhealthy diet can trigger chronic inflammation in the gut, and that inflammation can then spread systemically, including to the brain. Chronic inflammation is increasingly recognized as a contributing factor to various neurological and psychiatric disorders. So, while individual nutrients are definitely important, it's the overall dietary patterns that have a significant impact on long-term brain health. So the Mediterranean diet is, characterized by a high intake of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, legumes, olive oil, and fish. It also includes moderate amounts of poultry and dairy with limited red meat and processed foods. This way of eating has been consistently linked to improved cognitive function, a reduced risk of cognitive decline, and a lower incidence of Alzheimer's disease. Its emphasis on anti-inflammatory and antioxidant-rich foods likely contributes to these benefits. The MIND diet, or Mediterranean Intervention for Neurodegenerative Delay, is, a unique approach that combines elements of both the Mediterranean and DASH diets. It specifically focuses on foods that have been shown to benefit brain health. This way of eating emphasizes leafy green vegetables, berries, nuts, olive oil, whole grains, fish, beans, and poultry, while limiting things like red meat, butter and margarine, cheese, pastries and sweets, and fried or fast food. Studies have actually shown that the MIND diet can slow cognitive decline and reduce the risk of Alzheimer's disease, even if you just follow it moderately. The Western diet, on the other hand, is typically high in processed foods, refined sugars, unhealthy fats, and red meat, and it's usually low in fruits, vegetables, and whole grains. This pattern has been linked to an increased risk of cognitive impairment, depression, anxiety, and neurodegenerative diseases. The high levels of saturated and trans fats, added sugars, and processed ingredients can really promote inflammation, oxidative stress, and even disrupt the gut microbiome, all of which are honestly pretty detrimental to brain health. So let's talk about practical steps for a brain-boosting diet. Adopting a brain-healthy diet doesn't mean you need to make drastic changes overnight. Small, sustainable modifications can actually make a significant difference. First, prioritize whole, unprocessed foods. Try to focus on incorporating a variety of fruits, vegetables, whole grains, lean proteins, and healthy fats into your daily meals. Next, include omega-3 rich foods. Aim for at least 2 servings of fatty fish per week, or consider adding other sources like walnuts and flax seeds. Embrace healthy fats by using olive oil for cooking and salad dressings, and include avocados and nuts in your snacks. It's also important to limit processed foods, sugary drinks, and unhealthy fats, since these can contribute to inflammation and negatively impact brain function. Stay hydrated, because dehydration can impair cognitive function, so be sure to drink plenty of water throughout the day. Nourish your gut microbiome by including fiber-rich foods like fruits, vegetables, and whole grains, as well as fermented foods like yogurt and kefir. And finally, be mindful of portion sizes and meal timing, since keeping your blood sugar levels consistent is really important for sustained brain energy. The food we eat is not just fuel for our bodies. It's actually a critical determinant of our brain health and cognitive capabilities. By understanding the intricate ways in which nutrients and dietary patterns influence brain structure, function, and the gut-brain axis, we can make informed choices that nourish our minds and protect them against the ravages of time and disease. Embracing a whole foods-based diet, rich in essential nutrients, healthy fats, and fiber, is really an investment in our cognitive well-being, paving the way for sharper thinking, a more stable mood, and a healthier brain throughout our lives. In a world that demands constant mental agility, the power to enhance our brain function may, in fact, lie right on our plates.